All right, you guys. So let's look at another couple of examples of quadratic equations. All right, so you can see here, I've got my example ready to go. So I have x squared plus x minus 25 equals x. All right, so I cannot have it equal to x. It needs to be equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract x. So when I do that, those actually eliminate, which means I bring down x squared minus 25 equals 0. All right, so remember we have to go through our questions. We have to ask ourselves, okay, do I have a GCF? No. Do I have a difference of squares? Well, I have a minus sign, I have even exponents, and I can take the square root of 25. So yes, I have a difference of squares. So that's going to be x plus 5, x minus 5 equals 0. All right, and if you were paying attention in the last video, all right, you simply just take the opposite to get your final answers. So x equals, the opposite of 5 is negative 5, comma, the opposite of negative 5 is 5. So there are my final answers, okay? And as a quick review, remember, roots, solutions, x-intercepts, and zeros. Okay. And when you're in delta math, you are going to separate them by a comma. Negative 5, comma, bring up a new box, 5. Submit my answer. Yes. And there we go. All right. Let's look at a new problem. Trying to find some. Oh, that would be a good one. All right. X squared minus 2x equals 0. All right. So same thing. First question, is there a GCF? Well, yes, because if I look at both terms, each of them have an x. So that means I need to divide by x. 1 and 2 don't have anything in common that I need to factor out. So now I'm going to get x in the front, and then 2 minus 1, so that's just x, minus the x's here cancel, bring down the 2 equals 0. All right. Now, this one's really simple. You just need me to tell you one time, and then from there on, you're going to be okay. All right. The answer here, when there's no parentheses, it's just an X, it's automatically 0. Okay. Because think about it. If I were to put a 0 right here, 0, if I were to distribute or multiply, I get 0. Take the opposite of negative 2, which is 2. And that's my final answer. So 0, comma, 2. Submit my answer. Yes, I got my green check. All right. So let me see if I can bring up some other problems. Yes. Okay. This will be my last example, and then I'm going to leave you to it. So x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals negative 2. All right. So same thing. It's got to equal 0. Now, in the last example, it equaled 0, so we could jump right in. That's great. All right. So I'm going to add 2. Make sure you line it up if it's like terms. So now I have x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0 because negative 5 plus 2. All right. I do not have a greatest common factor. I do not have a difference of squares. So now I move to my x puzzle. So negative 3 on top, negative 2 on bottom. So to solve that would be negative 3 and 1. So that means I have x minus 3 times x plus 1 equals 0, which means my final answers are 3, comma, negative 1. All right, type that in, 3, comma, negative 1, and there we go. All right, good luck, you guys.